Welcome back. Happy Thursday morning. This is the video. It's our palate cleanser where we cover the real working royals and what they're doing. So let's jump in and cover it because they have been busy. Let's go. I'm going to start off really quickly with some comments you guys made about the polo thing. And I agree with this. It would have been better if there had been, footage of Charles and Philip playing, because what's being said is that horse racing is the sport of kings, not polo. All right, let's move on to our first story. We're going to start off with Prince William. He teamed up with David Beckham. Oh, could that be better? They were looking at the London Air Ambulance charity helicopters on this particular morning. They went to the RAF Northolt in West London to view the two aircrafts, and they smashed the £15 million fundraising target to replace the aging helicopters. So, of course, they greeted each other. It's being said like they were old friends. And then, of course, they climbed into the cockpit. William took the pilot seat, and pretty cool. It was let known that William reached out in a personal phone call to arrange the trip, and David Beckham, of course, said absolutely yes, because he knew how, what this meant to Prince William. He said, the second he called, I could not hide my excitement. Let's not forget that the air ambulance people rely on public funding donations. And so David Beckham said it was so wonderful that I could help get involved and help raise the money. And let's also not forget that William worked as an air ambulance pilot for the East Anglian Air Ambulance between March of 2015 and July of 2017. And he also donated his entire salary. He never took a penny. The fundraising event was called Up Against Time, and it was launched in 2021 because their helicopters, the charity's helicopters, would absolutely be out of service. And so now they have new H-135 helicopters. As a matter of fact, they got two of them, so they can ensure that the medical team can continue to, provide the vital services that are needed. Prince William actually spoke to the pilots and pointed out that one of the helicopters was over 20 years old, and the pilot said he didn't expect to get so emotional during the last flight because he said the helicopters were absolutely fantastic. Now, after all of this, there was a private reception for some of the charity executives and the donors. And William also heard from one person who was picked up and said, I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for these helicopters. I love the fact that William and Mr. Beckham went ahead and signed the helicopters. That's such a personal touch. I just love it. Now, when this was over, it might have been before, I'm not sure, Prince William went to visit the 2023 Earthshot Prize finalist Enzo, because they have now partnered up with Uber across the UK and the USA. They were a finalist in the 2023 Clean Our Air category, and they make tires for vehicles. Well, they're designed specifically for electric vehicles. They're more sustainable, and they reduce harmful tire pollution, which leads to cleaner air for everyone. The tires are called low emission tires, and they're calibrated to reduce particle pollution by 35%. So during the visit, Prince William met with the founder and CEO, Mr. Erldenson. I hope I said that right. He had a discussion about the new, strategic partnership between Uber and Enzo, and then he tried to change a tire. I shouldn't say he tried, I should say he did, because he actually did a really good job. And he pointed out that even he has had to change a tire. Don't think just because he's Prince William that he hasn't changed a tire in the past. This company announced in June is developing a 500 million carbon neutral tire factory in the United States as well as part of its expansion. It should be completely up and running by 2027 and will be employing over 600 people, producing more than 5 million EV tires a year. Even more impressive, the company built up a 145 million pound clear air fund because London, it's being reported, is Uber's capital for electrification, because 30% of the Ubers are fully electric. So anyway, they made this fund to help people in the capital switch 5 times faster than the average motorist to, electric vehicles. Uber has also set a goal to become net zero emissions globally by 2040, in North America and Europe by 2030. Let's move on. And next up, The king sent a message to mark the Republic of Cyprus becoming independent. Very nice. Now, on the same day that Princess Anne went to visit the Gherkins, she also visited with her husband Horsfall House. She renamed their unit, the general unit, to the Gatecombe unit, which we know is the name of her and Sir Tim's estate, which apparently is located just down the road. She looks lovely in that green suit of hers. It's a staple. All right, next up, on the 24th, Princess Anne touched down at Solsgrith Home Farm. There were supposedly more than 350 school pupils and adults learning about food and farming. The name of the farm they were at is Clack's Farm. I think it's wonderful that children do this sort of thing. We never did this in the United States, but I like it. All right, next up, as a court member of the Fishmongers Company, she went to visit, Anne did, a food technology class at Bingley Grammar School. This took place on October 1st. Then on October 1st as well, Princess Anne visited Ladywell Mills. For those of you who don't know, Princess Anne is the president of the UK Fashion and Textile Association, UKFT. So what Anne was doing was looking at the fiber processing mill. They showed her during a tour about the process needed to refine cashmere and mohair. This place specializes in sourcing natural fibers from original markets worldwide. The article said that they provide materials to anybody from high-end fashion houses to just some tailors. Now, this was founded by Raymond Seal in 1970 from the family dining room, and they gifted Princess Anne a cashmere blanket and scarf. Now, the next bit of news that came out is absolutely fabulous. I've been waiting for this. Princess Beatrice is pregnant. She's going to have her second child with her husband, Edoardo Mapelli Mosey. I hope I said that correctly. This has been confirmed by Buckingham Palace. They say the baby is due in spring of next year. The king and everybody, they said, is absolutely pleased that Wolfie and Sienna, Wolfie is his child from his first relationship and Sienna is their daughter together, that everybody is very happy. The baby will be 11th in line to the throne. I have always said I hoped that she would have a second child, but I thought maybe she considered Wolfie, the child from his previous relationship, to be their second one. And so maybe they weren't going to have one. So I'm so glad they did. And then, of course, it came out that the palace had to scramble to fix a blunder. Really? It was a simple from Highness rather than Highness. They left out a letter. Not that big of a deal. Let's move on to Edward the Duke, who went to Herefordshire, and he went to 3 different events. We're going to start with what was his last stop of the day. He ended his visit by meeting veteran staff and volunteers at the Veteran Support Center, where he officially opened its new building, and he also unveiled a fabulous plaque. Edward was praised for visiting them, saying that Edward had a lot in common with the veterans, and it was great to see support from the royal family. I agree. Now, during Edward's first visit of the day, he met students at the New Model Institute for Technology and Engineering and heard about their projects. Obviously, he arrived by helicopter. But what I like about Edward is that he really seemed to take an interest in some of the projects that they were working on, especially the ones for people with disabilities and access issues. So I think I just like it. All right. Then he moved on to his second event, which took place at Holmes Lacey College, where Edward toured the new low carbon technology training center. For some of these visits, Edward was accompanied by the Lord Lieutenant Edward Harley, CBE. A lot of the students got to showcase their engineering and technology projects before the university unveiled a plaque, as they usually do, commemorating the visit, which I think is lovely. And of course, before he left, he spoke with a lot of the staff and students at the university or the college, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's move on. On October 1st, Edward opened the Haberdashers' Monmouth School in Monmouth. He happens to be a member of the Court of Assistants of the Worshipful Company of Haberdashers. Edward was there to officially open the school as a fully co-educational institution. He went on a tour of the school. He saw the design and textile classrooms. He went to the Year 8 Design Technology computer room. He engaged with a lot of the students and they demonstrated their skill in designing and education. Then he went to the Blake Theater where he saw a drama performance by students and he unveiled, of course, a commemorative plaque to mark the official opening of the school. After that, there was a musical performance. Then there was a buffet lunch. And then, of course, he finished up his trip. I think it was fabulous. You know, I already love him. I'm not even going to go there with you guys. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. And then go down into the description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, which is currently paused, my Amazon wishlist, and my physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.